It's
Start.
denied. So, so I cannot hear you. Is it on my side or everybody else?
Yeah, very low. Yeah, I don't think I can hear.
Oh, my volume is low?
No,
Oh,
no, no, that was on my side.
Now
Yeah,
you
I
can
can
hear.
hear now.
Yeah.
uh, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvajayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Jai Jinendra Sabiko.
Yeah, you did.
Are we still, I guess, missing somebody? Maybe Arunji and Dinesh Borad, I guess, right? Yes. Hopefully they
Yeah,
can join.
Arunji denied, right, saying that he cannot make it.
Oh, I thought everybody said yes. Okay, never mind. It's okay. And Dinesh ji, sometimes he's late, so it's okay. Okay, so everybody has the book. We are going to start Krambadhparyay today.
Right.
And, I have the physical book. We just have to make sure that what I have in physical book is what is matching in the PDF. Okay. So our new topic today, Krambadhparyay. What does that mean? What is Kram?
Sequence?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the Baddhaparyay?
Paryay is modification,
Mm-hmm.
and Krambad is Bad means already decided.
Fixed. Yes. So each paryay, which means each modification of the soul or Udgal or anything for that matter, is existing or defined or decided or whatever you want to call it. Now, I know it's a very, very difficult concept to absorb. The reason being, we are all so used to the doership. What are we used to? Doership.
Doership.
That I can change things, I can do something. Remember? Until we come to that point of let things happen, things are happening, and I'm the observer, it is very difficult to accept this Krambadhparyay concept. Okay? But at the same time, study of it will help us get there, the observer mode. Now, everything cannot be proven, but the fact that if Kevali was able to see the future and it was proven that it was true, there has to be reason. How can somebody see the future if it is not already distant? Okay. Now, let us say we watch a rerun of a football game or a cricket game, right? Except that we didn't know it was a rerun. Somebody just happened to send us the wrong time. And, we turn on the TV or whatever and it's on. How do we feel about it?
For us, it'll be the same. We don't know that it
We
was.
don't know. So it's just
Right.
happening first time. We don't even know it's already predefined what is presented to us, right? Now, let's say 10 people are watching. One of them knows it's a rerun. So, is there going to be a difference in his feelings versus the ones who don't know it's a rerun?
In his feelings, in a sense, he would know what is going to happen.
Right. But he will be able to be observer without
Right.
emotion.
Correct. Nothing's going to change, right?
Because he knows he cannot change the result.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones who don't know, are they trying to hoot? As if them shouting in their family room is going to make the team win,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they
Right.
don't. So they think, I remember my son,
Mm-hmm.
he was in high school or middle school. He was so attached to football that if you were watching in the family room, if I uttered a word like a disturbance in his focus of the game,
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the reason for them to miss a point or whatever was going on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
He would come up in our bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
close the doors, and want to watch peacefully, thinking that no disturbance is going to make them win.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure all of us do with something at some point in our lives, right? We don't know. So we have our own notions of what the outcome of things should be. And especially if we are trying for something, then we definitely want that to be happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so here is the thing. Now the question arises, so then what do we do? Don't do anything? Anyway, something is going to happen? The answer to that is, you may think you won't do anything. Try it.
Mm-hmm.
Just try. What will you do? Wake up in the morning, you won't get out of bed?
Mm-hmm.
Some authority is going to get you out of bed? You can't
Mm-hmm.
help it. You will do it. You won't eat? You'll be hungry. You will eat. Whether you know the future or not, whether Kavali knows that you will eat and you will eat this item and so much quantity and whatever, you don't know. You'll still go on.
Mm-hmm.
That is number one. Number two, you still have Rag Dvesh. As long as you have attachment towards this body, you will feel hungry. You will want to go grab food. Even if Kavali has seen you're not going to get your food what you wanted today.
Mm-hmm.
So to think that, oh, this Krambadhparyay, this whole principle of it is going to make people lazy, not going to happen. Unless if we force us to, just give me a second, I don't know why in my computer this background light doesn't work, so I have to change my position in the middle of the class because as the daylight subsides. Okay. So, so if we harm ourselves by thinking, oh, fine, I'm not going to look for a job. Let the Krambad decide what's going to happen. Guess what? Then that was your Krambad. You're not going to try and not get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So Krambad is not to be used to become lazy. It is only to be used to give you peace of mind that whatever is to happen is destined. I just don't know it. So peacefully accept whatever the outcome is. It has come to Kavali's knowledge already, and Anant Kavali's knowledge, right? So it the believing in the principle can help reduce the stress. Okay, so let's start the book. You guys, I guess, read from the PDF, and I'll try to match if it is the same as the book I have. And if it is not, then we'll share the PDF. Viraj, you want to start?
Yeah, start from the first section. It says
Part one, sequence bound. Yes, from there.
yes, sequentially bound modification, a contemplative study. Sequentially bound modification is today a widely discussed topic within the Digambar Jain community. Whether one is in favor or in opposition, it is being talked about everywhere among those who are drawn to philosophical inquiry. Although the spiritual luminary Sri Kanji Swami presented this subject with great seriousness and thereby heralded a revolution in the world of spirituality, making it a prominent subject of discussion in the community. Even so, few are truly.
It's a little different.
Oh.
So let us share it, I guess. Yeah, this is, so they did do the ChatGPT version, looks like. Yeah. Go ahead and then share it, because then we may have to edit, and if we notice any discrepancies or words that are used that are, not quite appropriate, we have to make a note of it. Can Amitji, can you share the PDF, please? Or it looks like you're on the phone.
Yeah, I am on the phone today, so if
Angle.
someone else can.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
I can share. I can share.
Okay, go ahead, Bahubali.
Yeah, I think it should be.
So you see,
It's upcoming, yes. Okay. So I heard this word heralded a revolution.
Yeah, fourth line.
Yeah. Is that a very common word? Maybe my English vocabulary.
Yeah, no, it's common. Heralded a revolution, the word, and that's appropriate also.
Okay. Means started a revolution?
Or heralded, it means the same.
Right? Started and heralded is same?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heralded is like more forcefully started, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
more of a leadership trait, right? Like
Yeah.
Okay.
started could just be a founder, but heralded means started, nurtured, and spearheadedly took it forward.
Okay, so little more than just started. Okay, no
Mhm.
problem. That's fine. Okay.
Okay, making it a prominent subject of discussion in the community. Even so, few are truly delving into the depths, the kind of deep churning that ought to be undertaken on this unique philosophical investigation within the Jain thought is hardly evident. This great philosophical insight has unfortunately been turned into a matter of idle debate and social politics. In reality, it is a purely philosophical subject. It should not be made the object of controversy or humor, but rather approached with a purely philosophical and spiritual perspective. Since it is a subject rooted in Jain philosophy, it must be contemplated with some reasoning and clear examples, grounded in the perspective of the Jain scriptures. The meaning of sequentially bound modification is that the transformation order of this ever-changing world is sequentially governed. Karma niyamit.
Ramaniyam.
Kram. Karma would be K-A-R. This is.
Sorry, Kram. Yeah. Kram niyamit, right. All transformation that takes place continuously in the world is happening in a fixed and systematically ordered sequence. While at the surface level, this transformation may appear disorderly, upon deeper reflection, even that reveals an underlying and well-structured order. Just as in the theatrical performance, the scene that appears well arranged is indeed predetermined and carefully organized. Even the scenes that appear chaotic are in fact all pre-planned and completely structured.
I'll give you an example of that. Do you guys remember few years ago, there was this Broadway show, kind of Indian, what was it? Bombay Dreams. Anybody saw that?
No, I know there was a show, but I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Broadway show. It actually became very popular, and we went to New York to see it. And so it was about Bombay slums and a lot of that, right? So it had scenes like that where, you know how the slums are, there's clothes hanging somewhere and like dirt and, you know, all messed up. And to create that scene, I mean, at home, so easy, you know, to throw things and mess up the house. But there in the theater situation, it's a work to make the stage and that you know, this looking like a slum and all that. So even the disorderly things are actually put that way. They are actually in order. They are in the order of the way the theater wanted it to be. Okay, go ahead.
I think
Just as it seems.
just as scenes in a play unfold one after another, not all at once, in the same way, modifications within every substance occurs sequentially, not simultaneously. In a drama, it is also fixed which scene will follow which. Similarly, among modification, it is fixed which modification will come after which, just as only the scene that is desired to follow appears next and no other.
Destined to follow.
Destined to follow appears next and no other. In the same way, only that specific modification effect which is meant to occur takes place and no other. This is what is called sequentially bound modification. The transformation order of every substance is not only orally, but also independent. It is not dependent on any other substance. There is absolutely no interference from one substance in the transformation of another.
So you understand how that, even though to us it appears
Right.
that because of this happened, the cause and effect that we talk about, right? But in reality, each substance is operating of its own cause and changing. The paryayas are continuously changing. And yes, there is a cause and effect, but it's coincidence that happens and the other action happens. So let's say soul does a bhav and the body reacts. Karma, which is Pudgal, comes into fruition and becomes nimit for the soul to create the Kashaya bhav. But soul is doing its own thing, karma are doing their own thing. Neither one of is making each other do something.
So if there's an example of just substances, Pudgal, let's say house goes on fire, it's made of wood, and somebody lights a fire. So normally it wouldn't have gone on fire, but somebody lit the fire. So now
Yeah, okay, but then you have to kind of dissect it, okay? So wood has its own paryay going.
Right.
Okay. Fire has its own paryay going. The person whose hand is pouring the liquid or whatever it may be to set the fire has its own, that liquid has its own paryay, you know, where it was going to go, where it was going to fall. The person's hand, the pudgal, has its own paryay going. It's going to, you know, lift the bottle of kerosene, whatever may be, and pour. Now, that person's bhav, that he intended to do that, lift that bottle of kerosene and pour it on the wood and then lit the fire.
Right.
Bhav is the soul is doing the bhav of its own. So many things going on. But coincidentally, these things are happening. But there is a nimitic sambandh. So when we say that, yes, they're independently doing of their own account, yet something can be instrumental in something to happen. That means that bhav existed same time as this fire was to be lit.
Mhm.
Now, the bhav could exist, yet the fire may not happen. That's a possibility,
Yeah.
right? So, when the work happens, then we say that, okay, this happened, so because of that. So, in kind of,
Mhm.
we talk like that. But all of these things are independently happening. And if they match and the work happens, then we say that in fire to be lit, this person's bhav was instrumental, this person's hand was instrumental, kerosene was instrumental, lighting the match was instrumental, and then that's why the fire happened. They're all instrumental in the action, not the cause of it.
That
Okay.
cause is the bhav. Cause would be the bhav.
No, even that cause is, remember, when we learned the upadan and nimit, what is the
Right.
cause?
Right.
Upadan, what is upadan?
Upadan is the main thing that makes it happen, right?
That is changing.
Changes, right?
For wood is the upadan because the change is happening in the wood, it's burning,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
For kerosene is the upadan because kerosene is falling from bottle to onto the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Its parya is changing. It's changing its form,
Right.
contained in a bottle to spreading on the wood,
Mm-hmm.
right? So wherever the change is happening is the real cause.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is nimit or instrumental in that action to happen.
Okay.
So in this example, there is no modification of the jeev, right? Everything is pudgal,
It
right?
is.
Kerosene, everything.
No. Jeev never modifies.
Yeah, jeev doesn't modify. Correct.
No. Jeev, all in a way it does because paryay kiski hai?
Okay.
Jeev ki paryay hoti hai na? Jeev is also dravya. And any dravya will have transformation.
Every samay it will have transformation.
Yes, every samay it
Okay.
will have transformation. Now, bhav does not happen in the dravya. Bhav always happens in the paryay.
Okay. So that fear bhav that happens, right? Once
Yes, it's
for
in the paryay. So this samay, the fear may be there. The next samay, it may be gone.
Like
So
an
that's why it
abhav, right?
doesn't stay
Pragbhav.
consistent. Yes.
Got it. Yeah.
Yet the swabhav doesn't go anywhere. That's why the dravya always will have the swabhav in it. The potential to be itself.
So the wood becomes ash, but do we say that it still has the potential to become wood again?
No, it is still remaining as pudgal parmanu. The parmanu level
Right.
is always existing in the universe. The kit can never be destroyed. It may transform, the wood transform to ash.
Right.
Now ash will go down and settle in the earth. We keep settling it after thousands of years.
Yeah.
It become petroleum.
Right.
But that molecule, that atom, whatever you want to call it, the smallest form of pudgal, is retained. It's not destroyed.
Destroyed. Yeah.
It has changed form.
For change. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. As Acharya Amritchandra writes in his commentary titled Atma Khyati on verse 308 to 311 of the illustrious Digambar Acharya Kundakund renounced scripture Samaysar.
Jivo hi.
Jivo hi.
Yeah, you guys haven't done this in a while because last couple books we've read by somebody else.
Jivo hi.
Get back into this.
You've forgotten.
Yeah. Jivo hi.
Okay, help him now. Who knows
Tavatrama.
what it is if there is a line above? It's
tha. It is
remember if there's a line.
Tavattakram
Tavatakram.
niyamita atma.
atma parinamer utpadayamano jiva eva na ajivaha evam ajivo vikrama nimitta
Niyamit Atma.
Niyamitta.
Namitatma.
परिणामैर उत्पादयमानो जीव एव न जीव
See,
जीव.
we are such a people of habit, right? When you guys
Yeah.
were reading it every day, you were so used to it, people were able to, some of you were reading it very fluently. That's okay, it'll come back.
Okay.
First, the Jeev undergoing its own sequentially governed, sequentially bound modifications is indeed a Jeev and not a Jeev. Similarly, the Ajeev undergoing its own sequentially governed, sequentially bound modification is Ajeev and not Jeev. Here, the transformations of all Jeev and Ajeev is described as sequentially governed, that is, sequentially bound.
Mhm.
What else exists in the universe apart from Jeev and Ajeev? The aggregate of Jeev and Ajeev substances is what is called the world or the universe. In this way, the transformation of the entire universe is called sequentially governed, that is, sequentially bound.
Mhm.
The
Now,
word,
if you think about it, yeah, I guess on Instagram or different platforms nowadays, India is so full of this Jyotish Vidya. Everybody wants to predict the future. I recently heard, even in for Independence Day, there's a Kundali for the country. Can you believe that? Like India was born on 15th August. So that is the birth date of India. And based on that, there is a Janam Kundali, just like they make for people. And they predict futures based on that Kundali. And I happened to run into some, I forget whether it was a podcast or a Instagram or reel or something like that. So this lady, who's predicting what could happen to the country in the near future, they claimed that she was 97% correct, whatever she predicted in the past. So now think, how are people able to predict if the events were not fixed? Except they're not Kevali. So even that 97% could tomorrow change to 80%. And what are you going to do if you trust that lady? And then, so better not to get into those things. Okay. So
okay,
here the word karma, kram.
the word
That's the first
sequentially,
sentence.
the word sequentially governed and sequentially bound are synonymous. As clearly stated in Jain Atma,
Jain Tattva Vimimansa.
Jain Tattva Mimamsa. What does that mean? Just the Jain book, Tattva book? Or?
It is name of the book, but
Name.
Mimamsa means talking about a philosophy.
Philosophy, okay.
Explaining it.
Okay. Every effect occurs only in its own proper time. Therefore, modifications of every substance are sequentially governed, one after another. They continue to arise at their respective proper times in accordance with their real principal cause. Nishchay
So in
Upadana.
Mimamsa, as opposed to, see, some books are critiques of, let's say, Amritan Chandracharya wrote. And in those days, critique didn't mean in a negative sense. Writing a critique meant that you understood that author, so you explain it a little more in detail as opposed to what the author has written. And that's what happens in Kundakundacharya's Samaysar Pravachan, and Amrit Chandracharya wrote a critique or further details of it, right? Now, when somebody does a Mimamsa, they do like a comparative study, they put their own reflection in it, investigation. It's like they put their own thought or even the comparative study. That's the difference between the Mimamsa
Okay.
and Tika. The Tika in English is critique, but it is not critique in sense of negative.
Negative.
So commentary is a better word.
Yeah.
That's correct. So Tika would be more like commentary, yes.
Here, the word kram has been used to indicate sequentially manifestation of modifications, and the word niyamit has been used to indicate that each modification arises in its own proper time, regulated in accordance with its own real principal cause. At the present time, the meaning conveyed by them by the term sequentially bound modification is the same as that of sequentially governed modifications. It is important to note that it's not merely stated here that modifications occur in sequence, but also that they occur in a regulated sequence. The intent is this: the specific modification of a particular substance, which is to rise in a particular time, through a particular instrumental cause and by a specific mode of effort, arising exactly in that substance at that time, through that instrumental cause and by that very mode of effort, exactly as it is meant to, not otherwise. This is the rule.
Okay, now let's discuss that a little bit. What do you think they're talking about here? They had this long paragraph as to how things happen.
It's like anything that happens, it's already in that direction. It's everything is being as if
They are talking about Panch Samvai.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've shared this with you. I don't know if it came in any of the books yet. Maybe it did. What are the Panch Samvai? Who knows?
Swabhava,
Mm-hmm.
Nimitta, Karma, Niyati.
Karma nahi. Say Swabhav, Kal, Purushat, Niyati,
Labdhi.
and
Mm.
Honhar.
Honor. Yeah.
No,
Honor
Honhar
is
is
Niyati.
same thing. Wait a minute.
So
Nimit did
like
Nimit, yeah.
Swabhava, Kal, Nimitt, Purusharth.
Purusharth and
Labdhi.
Honhar. Barabar, 5. No, Labdhi, Niyati, Honhar, they're all one and the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say
So
it again, Prabhuji, 5.
5. Swabhav,
Mhm.
Kal, Nimit, Purusharth, and Honhar.
Honar is what?
Honhar, Niyati, all that is like whatever is supposed to happen will happen. That's all it means.
Honor is also can be called Karma.
No, Karma is Nimit.
Okay.
Okay. The Karma is always a Nimit, is a catalyst in things to happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Swabhav, Kal, Purusharth, Nimitt.
Nimit and Honhar. Okay. Now, so what they're saying here is, whenever something happens, it's not just the sequence that this is going to occur is determined. It is also determined that this will be the nature of it. This is the time it is going to happen. This is by which effort it will happen. What will become the catalyst for this event to happen, and the fact that it is happening. All those 5 things are also prefixed. So, which clarifies that, for example, if there was a something happened, right? Now, you say, I'm not going to study. If I'm supposed to pass, I mean, a lot of students say that, right? जो होना है वो होगा. और मैं पढ़ूंगा तो भी फेल हो सकता हूँ. नहीं पढ़ूंगा तो भी पास हो सकता हूँ. Right? Let's leave it up to destiny. So now, destiny is what? The result, whether that kid is going to fail or pass. Now, so let's say he was going to fail. That is already destined. Now, it is also destined in order to fail, this kid is not going to study. The Purusharth is going to go in the negative form. Rather, or his Purusharth to think that he's not going to study, assuming that whatever will happen, will happen. Okay? What time this event will happen, whether he finds out whether he failed or passed, is determined. What will be the nimit? Nimit is not necessarily only one. There can be several nimit. It could be Jnanavarniya karma. It could be his antray. Somebody brainwashed him that he doesn't need to study. It could be several of them. So all those are also predetermined. And the fact that this event of his result of fail is going to happen is the honhar. So it encompasses everything. So you really cannot separate the purusharth and say, oh, whatever is determined is supposed to happen will happen, so I don't have to study. Well, not study is part of that whole calculation of the equation. So you understand? So you cannot, so if you think, oh, you're going to watch what's going to happen, and I'm now not going to do anything. Do you understand why it would not work? In the sense that if that thought is coming to you, then that is a nimit in that whatever it was that you were trying to accomplish to fail. Or let's say even if you were successful, then that thought or that purusharth or whatever you're doing would be considered as nimit in whatever the event would happen. So there is more to it than just saying that, oh, this event will happen after this event. Yes, there's a sequence, but all the other things are also part of that equation.
So what is the swabhav in the example you gave, Prabhaji?
Swabhav of, okay, so let's say we are taking the event of pass or fail, right? So swabhav in the sense that here we're not talking about a substance per se. I mean, it's a result, right? We're not saying it's a pudgal, that it has a nature of this or
Where it happened is what swabhav, where it happened.
Right. Now, where it happened means we can say emotion of success or failure can happen in the jeev. That it has the ability to have that emotion.
Okay.
But all the swabhav means that it has the ability to happen. So pass and fail has the ability for that act to happen. That's all it means.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. It's potential.
Potentiality is there. Yes.
So in this case, he just won't do the Purusharth then, if he was destined.
Yeah. If he was destined to, pass with flying colors or top, automatically his Purusharth will go towards that.
In that nimitta will be there, conducive environment also. I mean, to
yes,
pass.
then he will get, yeah. Yet, now we know all this. So tomorrow, if I tell you, guys, you have such good nimit, you got the good, born in a Jain family, you have the books, you have this, so do the Purusharth of accomplishing Samvidash. So you're not going to sit around saying that, well, if it's supposed to happen, it will happen. Even though that is the reality. But
And this is all decided by your past.
nobody decides. Okay, so no, never anybody is deciding. Kevali is only able to observe, see. He cannot decide for you what your future is going to be. He doesn't have the ability to do so.
Yeah, he's not deciding that. That I agree. That part I understand. But
he cannot. Not only doesn't want to or can. One dravya cannot do it for the other dravya. So possibly nahi.
Okay. So the sequence that one is going through, that sequence is based on what? Some karma in the past, or what is it based on?
All this is okay.
Five things, yeah.
So yeah, nowadays it's easier for us to relate. AI. Okay, you ask it a question, you ask details, you put this inquiry, 10, you can make a whole huge long paragraph of what all you want to know and how you want it to function and whatever you put all this prompt in the AI. Now it's figuring out, right? It has to read these 300 books in order to come up with that answer that you're looking for, and it has to go check this and that, whatever. Who is deciding? Just happening. We accept that, right?
Yeah.
Same,
That part I understand.
right.
I don't understand the whatever the Kavli has seen, but that sequence, how does that sequence happen?
That is the nature of things. That is what we are saying, is nobody up top is deciding for even the one leaf to move from here to there. It has its own upadan to do it.
Right. Say one
And then there
person.
is so many nimit. The wind can move it, some animal can move it, doesn't matter.
So
But
when
the
the person
ability
decided to not study, so
right,
that was just because of the five circumstances came together and he just
not because of, now he is independently deciding that he's not going to study.
right.
Right? Now, the result is independently destined. Now, but when that result will happen, because of this guy not studying and the nature of the result being able to come, all those five things, all that was predestined. So yes, to some extent, the kid can say, well, it was predestined, so this bhav came to me that I don't study.
Right.
Possible.
Right.
But kid, you didn't know what your future is going to be. So if
But when
you
you say
go to not
predestined, but
study,
how is it predestined? That's what I am. When we say predestined, so it's predestined is
okay,
based
so
on
it is like
something.
your life or everything in life
Right.
is like a movie. What
Okay.
happens in a movie?
Right.
Events, actions, why this
But
lady will
somebody's
die in
written
the
a
movie.
script, no? So say in a movie, somebody's written
I
a
know
script.
somebody has written a script and
Right.
it happened.
Right.
Here, nobody has written a script. Yet
Right.
the world is self-moving, self-happening. Each atom, each being has its own cause of transforming, and it just so happens that it is happening in sequence. That's all it is. Let's say they're a human being. I mean, in the old times, yes, somebody is writing the script, somebody's whatever. Now what happens? With AI, you give it a prompt and it can make you a beautiful movie. Who is writing the script? AI. Who is AI? Nothing.
No, but it's still written. I mean, yeah.
No, but if you look at the day and night, correct? So night, day comes. Then you say like, oh, because
So now who
Earth
is
is
sitting up there making
rotating around
changes?
sun, but so what?
Exactly.
So who is why Earth is rotating around sun? Oh, because of the whatever the space time tweaking and all. Sun is going around the center of the galaxy. Galaxy is going. You go back, go back, go back, go back. There is nobody's create. Nobody's. You will not find it. So then
You won't
ultimately
find it.
conclusion is like,
And then
okay,
let's say
Dasha is
ultimately,
going
because
on.
you cannot find it, somebody will say, oh, there is this some superpower called God sitting up there doing all this. Well, then who is doing it for the God? Who is making him think and who is making him act or do whatever he's trying to do?
No, I don't think I mean, that part I understand. The part where I have been
So there
difficulty
are
is,
automatic natural forces that just things are happening. That's it.
So
And
who
I
is
understand it's a difficult concept to digest because we are so trained to think that somebody has to do.
So is our past karma or uday of our past karma
Yes, all
not?
that is also true. Yes,
Yeah.
those do become nimit in the events. But like I said, it's not just one thing that is fixed. Everything is fixed. That the karma uday will be nimit in this thing to happen. Say somebody had a business loss. So, which karma will come into fruition for him to have that business loss of labhantrayik uday, or it's not just one, it could be multiple different karmas coming to fruition in order for that event to happen. But all that is happening sequentially, and God can observe it without being attached into it and be able to tell. Or God, or rather, we all have that ability to able to see it. We just haven't manifested it yet. And that is why Kevali has no reason to be stressed. The things are happening. Just observe. When it is going to happen, whatever is predestined, what is there to feel sorry or happy or anything?
Even
Just
sometimes
enjoy the ride. The roller coaster is going to go down and up and down and up, and who can enjoy the ride? Who don't worry about how this roller coaster is made, and can it make me fall, and can the screws come loose?
sometimes I think like sit there and see like what thought comes. You cannot even make your own
You
thought.
cannot even control that.
Yeah, so it is keep coming. I mean, it looks like it's predestined, predetermined, everything. So it is
And that is what some of the meditation practices actually teach you, right? This Vipassana, or even some of the other ones. Basically, they are training your mind to be able to observe without
thoughts.
interference. So meditation, let's say you sit, right? First few times, 1 year, whatever, people sit, and more than ever thoughts keeps coming to your mind. Okay. And then what happens? Oh my God, I was supposed to meditate, and why is all these thoughts coming? And this happened 4 years ago, which I wasn't even thinking about. And now why is this thought coming to me? So people end up getting attached to that thought that came.
I
What
think
is meditation?
Viraj's
To be
question
not
could be
attached to that thought. Be able to observe, let that pass. Whatever is supposed to happen is happening. I don't need to be involved or be part of it.
I'm
I
okay
think
with that.
I think there are two questions here, correct? Virajji's question is whatever happens is, that is acceptable. I don't have control.
Yeah.
But it is predetermined is what the question is. That's what how it is predetermined.
Is there a system behind it, or how does it happen? What is
So
the
accepting whatever
You
it
can
happens?
call it
philosophy behind
nature.
it?
You don't, number one, you don't have to call it. It's just a fact that Kevali saw and informed us of it. Now, for us to believe that that is the case, we can call it nature. We can try to experiment with it. Yes, it's a difficult concept to absorb, that how can it be predetermined? Somebody has to be making this real in order to fall in play, right? That's because that's all we have seen in our lifetimes. Things don't just happen. Somebody has to do them. And that's why we come up with these questions. But we are coming up with these questions because of our own backgrounds that tell us that somebody has to do something in order for things to fall in place. Yet, if you observe life, there are so many situations that you thought you're going to control, and you are going to decide what is going to happen, and next and next and next. And it doesn't quite go your way. So then what is it? Some god or some Rakshas, somebody sitting up there messing up your sequence? So I think they will come to it. So let's say we decide not to believe in this Krambadh. Then what happens?
Then Kevali will not be able to know our future.
No, he still knows what.
No. If the sequence is not pre-decided, how would Kevali know the sequence?
No, the sequence will not be pre-decided, is also pre-decided, correct?
No,
There's no
that's
end to
fine.
this
No,
then.
no.
You can
Then
always
Kevli
say
would
everything was.
again. Then Kevli would say that the sequence is not predetermined, and hence the Kevli should not be able to perceive the future of each and every dravya.
But Kevali says that it's not pre-decided. That's how
Yeah,
does he know that?
so it's one and the same thing, right? Once Kevli says that that the future, right, is pursued, is known by the Aryans and Sid, that effectively means that the sequence is already pre-decided and the script is already written for
I have a
every
question.
section.
Is it pre-decided or is it already happened? Like you say, the game was played and you watched it the second day, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That means the game was not pre-decided. Okay, you might have watched it the second day, but the game was live at some point. So are we saying that this has already happened and the cable is seeing it?
It is
No,
as
no,
good
no,
as it
no,
is
no,
played.
no, no, no. It's the future. So when we say
Kevali
that
sees it as good as it is played. It is for him. I mean, it's going.
yeah,
I think it's going to come to later in the chapter, but yeah. So
For
but
Kevli, it's as good as it's been played.
yeah.
And he's able.
correct.
Yeah, he's
For
seen it,
us, it
right?
is not the case.
Correct.
For Kevli, because he has that ability to see the future paryas which have not yet occurred. See, what is present to us? What is
In
present,
this
future,
sum-
and past to us?
in this summary, right, whatever is happening is present.
Right. It's all relative, right?
Correct.
So for Kevali, they can see all the paryas with all their timestamps.
And that is the most strong rationale, right? That everything is
Right.
pre-recorded. That is the biggest rationale, right? That everything is pre-recorded.
No, it's not
If we believe in one
pre-recorded.
thing, then the other thing becomes automatic, right? If we
No, it's
believe
not
that
pre.
Kevli can
It's
see
not
the
So
pre-recorded.
Krambadhparyay proves the concept of Kevali, all-knowing, omniscient.
Yeah.
And omniscient proves the concept of Krambadhparyay.
See, like
correct. Yeah, that's where I was going to.
I was reading some the Western thing about the spirituality and all. There is one of the scientists or something. They say like if you know
Mhm.
10,000 or the some number he gave. If you know the so many aspects, he can predict the future. That's what they say. They experimented kind of like that.
But how will you predict if it is not fixed? What
No,
are
no,
you going to predict?
no. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like a pre-recorded
Yes,
or
you are right.
something.
The Jyotish Shastra is a mathematics.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Even
absolutely.
the star knowledge, whatever, it's all mathematics. All that application, how will it happen if it
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
fixed?
yeah, yeah.
That's the point.
Because
Yes,
because
you're
they're not.
right that all this mathematical calculations can predict future. Different people have different techniques of predicting future, right? People can look at the stars, people can look at your hand,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, palms and whatever. So many different people can look at your forehead and predict your future. But if future isn't there, what are they predicting? Not possible. It's there somewhere. Just hasn't come in front of you yet.
And also the Kavalis does not sit and calculate, correct?
No. For
Yeah,
them, it's just there.
yeah, it is just there. That means
Yeah.
it does not even put an attempt to.
He doesn't have to make an effort or calculate or anything.
I think as Prabhaji said, like this is the fact. I mean, acceptance may be hard to accept, but this is a fact. But if you try to believe, then I try to believe at any given point of time, I get relief that okay,
Yeah, not only relief, I think maybe in the initial stage you have to do a little blind belief. But then slowly, at some point, you have to relate it to your life events.
yeah, that's so
And
true.
then that nirnay will come that, oh, yes, this is true. Maybe initially you can hypothesize and say, okay, let me assume this is true.
Yeah,
Now let me try to prove it wrong. And if I cannot prove it wrong, then I need to believe it. That is the way it is.
yep,
But in a day-to-day life, it's always the pudgal, right? Which is what we are observing and we will be commenting on. Something like I am
We can
fat,
feel
right?
our
Or I am
bhav, right?
beautiful,
We
or
can
yeah.
feel our
We can
bhav, emotions, all those things
observe
that are
ourselves also.
related to Jeev.
so for us it is the bhav, right? That okay, that's already pre-decided.
So
So
they
in
just
the
said that,
next,
right? Primarily, the two things that you will observe most of the time is only Jeev and Pudgal. The other, like Kal, yes, is relevant. Dharmastikaya, dharmastikaya is
Correct.
pretty much pointless.
So-
Just something you know that is a catalyst.
Okay. So does that mean that when we say that everything is pre-decided from a Jeev perspective, right, then the next 1 hour, what will be the bhav, right, in
Mhm.
my soul, right, that is me, myself, right, is predetermined?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. For each dravya, that is the case.
Yeah, each Dravya. I'm just specifically looking for Atma. So in the next 1 hour, right, whether I will be
But I mean,
attending this
even for
discourse, watching a
dharmastikaya,
movie.
dharmistikaya, even if it is predetermined, why do we care? It doesn't matter to us. So that's why we don't talk about it much. We only talk about Jeev and Pudgal because those are the two that are always interacting, that those are the two that are always in the same space and all that. So those are the ones that matter the most.
So what do we derive from this? We only derive from this that right, that I'm not the doer, right? That's the main,
Exactly. That's the only thing that they're trying to get you to realize.
and not
That
fatalism.
you
Not
cannot,
fatalism saying
no,
that.
no, no. You cannot do something to the other. Right? So, but if you become the observer, things automatically change for you. See, as long as I have the doership, this is the events that will happen. Now, the fact that I will be telling you this, how your mind is going to react to it, let's say all that is also predetermined. So what? Why do we care?
But I'm still the
If
doer
I
of
will
my
be saying
bhav.
this sentence, Amit is going to think something. Bahubaliji may all completely accept it. Maybe
Correct.
Viraj will not accept it. Each of this, everything is predetermined. How
Right.
matter?
So,
The
but
fact
but
that we will analyze, we will discuss, one will believe, one won't believe. Everything is, but that doesn't mean we stop learning. It doesn't mean we do stop doing the purusharth
Yeah.
of getting samyak
but
darshan.
but Prabhuji, still we are the doer of our Atma, right? In the sense, what we do, like of
We
our
are
bhav.
we are the doer of our own bhav.
Correct. Okay.
Ideally swabhav, but also vibhav.
Hmm.
Okay. So vibhav, we don't want to be there. We want to come back to our swabhav. And that is when you start observing. That's when you are not the doer.
See, like the one more thing is I don't want to spoil sport, but right now since we talked about Kevali, correct?
Mhm.
Kevali knows what is past, what is present, what is future of each and every paryaya of the thing. So if the Kevali wish not to know, is it going to happen? No.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So see, there also there knowing this is also predetermined. So that
Yeah.
means Kevali also does not have control on its own knowingness.
Mhm.
So you are saying looking at from Kevli's
Yeah.
Paryay, right?
That's
Bahubali
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kevli's Paryay, right? Next
Yeah, yeah.
Paryai can know
modification.
his own paryai.
So that does mean this is so automated, including your own swabhava, everything. So that is the total that's the theme comes out. Nothing.
So
That
even
does
his own is predetermined. So how can he be the determiner for you? And the whole principle of you cannot do anything in the other, right? So proves it that he cannot do it. Now,
so
the bhav, how do we say we are doer of our own bhav? Because it is happening in the soul.
so
Where does the
yeah,
bhav
for
get
me it
key?
is so yeah, for me it's so hit that everything in the world is so determined, so working on itself. So what is there? Nothing. It just be
Nothing. So just be the observer. Even be the observer
you
of
observe
the
the
fact, Viraj, that, oh, it's not sitting with me yet. This whole concept, I'm not able to agree with it. Fine.
Mhm.
Be observer of that.
But then, what's the point of the whole human life then? We say it is really to experience your soul, right?
but
Yes.
it's happening.
So
Yes, it is
still,
happening.
Whether
How
I'm
do
going to
you know that
experience
it
the
is not
soul or not is
determined
no,
for
also
no,
you?
predetermined.
Yeah, exactly. That is
no,
also
no,
this is
no, Viraj, We are
The
still
fact
doer of.
that Viraj is going to laugh right now was predetermined.
Oh,
But did you
God.
stop laughing? No. So,
Can you stop
Answer his
laughing,
question.
Viraj? Can you stop, please?
No, to answer his question, right? We're still doer of our
There is
bhav,
no
but
answer.
that is predetermined. But we're still the doer, so we should not
yes,
think that we
even though
cannot
it's
do anything.
predetermined, but what is changing? Soul's bhav. Where is bhav getting created? In the soul.
So,
And
right.
because of that, you are called the doer of your bhav.
Okay.
But you cannot be the doer of Pudgal or anybody else.
Yeah. So to answer his question is because you are still the doer of your bhav, right? It is not like why do we have this life, right? If everything is determined, right?
See,
We still have
can
this
you
life
not
because we're still doer of the bhav.
can you not create your bhav?
We can change our bhav,
No,
yes.
no, that's what. No. Can you not change your bhav?
Yeah, you
We
can
can.
change your vow.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, we can. And
I
that is
mean,
also
I've changed our
predetermined
vow
that.
after learning this. It would be different if we didn't. So the vows do change.
And that is also predetermined that
That
it
is also
will change.
predetermined. That's that. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
then where
Both.
is there to change and not change?
No. But both the statements are true,
See, that's the
right?
whole
That
point. Whether you change or you don't change, either way, it's predetermined. So,
right.
what that means is, yes, you will believe in this principle because the belief will solve a lot of the issues.
Yeah.
Yet, that doesn't mean you stop doing your Purusharth. And not only that you don't do your Purusharth, the thing is, okay, so when we are in it, we are listening to the teacher saying that, okay, this is worth doing, let's do it, blah, 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 right? But then you go back and say, oh no, this is all pre-scripted. She said this, I was going to react this way. And then, yes, I was going to accept it, or next day, no, I was going to reject it, or this is how I was going to react. Except I didn't know that this is what was going to happen.
so Prabhuji, to support Krambadhparyay, right? If I have to say reasons, so right, one is obviously Kevali can see the future. He cannot see the future if it is not predetermined. That could be one reason.
Right.
Second is right, one substance cannot alter any other substance. We have already seen that. Right, Dravya cannot do anything of other Dravya, right?
Other
So
Dravya, yes.
that's right. So are these the only two rationals that
So there are a
basically
lot of
confirm this?
rationals, but the main rationale of Krambadh is that Krambadh proves the concept of Kevali, that someone up there or the soul
Yeah,
itself has the
vice versa.
ability of knowing everything. And because that ability exists, that it has to be predetermined in order to know all the paryas.
Correct. No, that
Those
I
two
already said.
concepts. The
That's the
other principles are also by themselves, they prove different points. They may or may not necessarily decide the Krambadh concept. But independently, they are also profound principles.
But this does not explain, let's say me or Viraj, right? What is my next 1 hour? Whatever bhav has been pre-decided for me, why is that pre-decided? And for Viraj, for the next 1 hour, why is that bhav pre-decided? The reason for that bhav, right, is not determined, is not explained by this theory of Krambadh. It just
The
says that it is
reason, no,
already
there is no
pre-decided.
reason. Okay, so this is the whole thing. Okay, for nature to happen, there is no hetu. I mean, there are people who have done PhDs on this concept. For swabhav, for
Uh-huh.
the true nature of anything to happen, there does not need to be a reason.
So no nimitic someone there.
Yeah, no, there is no supposed to be no reason. For me to exist in my swabhav, I don't need a reason for it.
Right?
There's
And
not
also
supposed
the
to be any reason. There
six
is no
type of
hetu.
six types of elements. What is
Yeah,
the reason for six types of elements?
yeah, they just
Why not
exist.
seven?
I mean, what is the reason? There is no reason. They just exist.
So that
So
is
if you go
okay.
down to the swabhav point, then you don't need a reason. Then there is no reason for it. It just is. This is the way it is.
And how can that? What is the reason to state that? Or is it like KVD has
Because
already told
Ananta
us?
sees it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I exist. I mean, that's a fact. I don't need a reason for it. No God is deciding for me to exist. So I have no reason. I just exist.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on then. Bahubali, you want to read as stated in after that?
Yeah. As stated in the Kartikayana Preksha, Jama Jassa Jammi Deshe Jena Vihanena Jammi Kalemi Nadam Jinena Niyadam Jamam Va Avaha Maranam Va Tam Tassa Tammi Dese Tena Vihanena Tammi Kalammi Kosakkadi Varedham Indo Vataha Nindova
Srinidova, very good.
Evam Jo Nichayado Janadi Tawani Savapanje So Sahidatti Uddho Jo Sankadi Sohu Kuhidatti.
Kudditi, huh?
For the Jiva whose birth or death the Jina has known to occur with certainty in this specific region at the specific time and through the specific mode, indeed occurs for that Jiva in that same region at that very time and through that very mode. Who can avert it? Be it Indra or even the Jina himself. In other words, none can obstruct it. Thus, one who knows substances and all their modifications with certainty is a right believer, and one who doubts this is a false believer. One who doubts this is a false believer, Mithya Drishti. The same spirit has been expressed at many other places in the Jain scriptures, such as Prageva Yadavaptavam Yena Yatra Yatha Yathaye
Yataha.
Tat Pariprapte Vasem Tena Tatra Tatha Tataha. That which is destined to be attained, where, due to what cause, and in what manner, that very thing is indeed attained, and that very place, through
At
that
that
very
very place,
cause,
through that very cause, in that very manner. Okay. Now, some of these you will, if you think about it, right? When we see episodes like this flight accident, there was somebody who visited me last month. Her grandmother-in-law, okay, she was 85, I think, and out of nowhere, she decided that she wants to visit America. And at that age, she had never been here, right? And this granddaughter-in-law was made to come with her to help because she's so old. Somebody needs to be taking care of her. So whatever, this whole family, 6, 8 people, whoever they came. And she came, she visited, I think, Niagara Falls. She went to Toronto and she passed away. Now, think about it. Her death was predestined to happen at this particular location in Toronto. Her thought that I want to go to America became nimit because this had to happen. It was predetermined that she was not going to die in India and she's going to die in Canada. So she got the thought that at that age of 85, when she had never visited the States, she wanted to go see the United States. And normally, who would think that the family will be so supportive and everybody will get visas? I mean, back in those days, it was relatively easier compared to now, but these 6, 8 people in the family got visas. traveled with her to make that trip possible for her. And she passed away here. But then if you think back and you were aware of this Krambadh concept, then you can put it together that, oh, because that had to be the reason. I mean, that had to be the final thing, that that place was determined where she was supposed to leave the body. The time was predetermined, where predestined, which time she was going to leave the body, and which manner that the thought will come to her that she wants to visit the states, and who all will help her in this process, all predestined. So when events not sounding normal or unnatural happen, then somewhere it clicks that, oh, normally this wouldn't have happened. So because it was predestined, all these things happen to fall in place. So it's, in some ways it solves mysteries. Some ways it becomes a cause of less stress. Let's say you're preparing for a very big meeting, some sales pitch, whatever it may be, right? Now you're extremely stressed. But if you think, you know what? Whether I'm going to get this sale or not is already predestined. So what am I worried about? Let me put my best effort, and then whatever happens, happens. It's already destined. Why worry? So it can be, or rather it's supposed to provide a lot of relief if you believe and understand the philosophy. Okay, so let's continue.
Okay. जो जो देखी वीतराग ने सो होसी विराने बिन देखियो होसी नहीं क्यों ही कहे हो तो अधिरारे.
So that is what it is saying. See, this is exactly what I just explained. Jojo dekhi vitarag ne so hosi virare. Whatever the vitarag has seen is what is going to happen. You haven't seen it, but why be adhira means? Why be restless? When Kevali has already seen what the result is going to be, why are you being restless? No reason for it. Go ahead, next.
समयो एक बधाई नहीं.
Badai nahi. In this case, it's
बढ़ाई
badai.
नहीं.
Badai means increase. Not one samay can be increased.
समयो एक बढ़ाई नहीं.
Gatasi.
जो सुख दुख की पिरारे.
Kidare.
क्यों सोच कराए मन कुड़ो हो वज्र जो पिरारे. And जा करी जैसे म जाही समय में जो होतव जा द्वार.
So this one you just read, samay ek bhi. So you cannot increase one single samay of anything, nor can you reduce. Or you cannot change a sukh and dukh ki feeling. Then why are you thinking? तो तू क्यों सोच करके मैं
मन
उड़ो होए वज्र ज्यों
हीरा रे.
So why are you thinking too much? And I don't know what that vajra jyo hira re. Not sure. Actually, it's not showing in my book. That's kind of strange. Why is that?
Here, hira means heart. मतलब अपने heart को वज्र जैसा कर लो. The soul get.
So they're saying, why are you making the soul that is like a diamond into a stone? Is that what it is saying? I'm trying to look for its original in this book I have, but I'm not finding it, so I'm not sure where they got it when they translated. Oh, maybe it's in the Hindi book. Let me look at that. Okay, you go on to the next one. I'm going to look for this.
जाकारी जैसे जाहि समय में जो होतव जा द्वार सो बनिहि तरिहाई कछु नहीं करी लीना निराधार ओ को कछु भये नारे जानलियो संसार.
Okay, so this is a little poem that I don't know who wrote it. Okay, so I'll read it from this Hindi. It is in the Hindi book. It is not in the English printed book somehow. Okay. जो देख okay जिससे जहाँ जिसका जो देखी वीतराग ने सो होसी वीरा रे बिन देखियो होसी नहीं क्यों ही काहे होत अधीरा रे. So it's just because you have not seen the future doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So then because of that there is no point in you being restless over the future. समयो एक बड़ो नहीं घटसी जो सुख दुख की पीड़ा रे. That means your happiness, that the feeling of happiness or sadness, you cannot increase it or decrease it. So why are you making your sentiments kudo means mela, like bad? Hoya vajra jo hira re. That I have to look at it and again tell you the detail later. I don't know if I'm doing this correctly. The one that vajra jo hira re. One meaning could be that hira is a very hard, or what do you call?
Diamond,
Hard
hira,
substance.
stone.
No, hira means diamond.
Right.
Are you trying to find its meaning in ChatGPT, Bahubaliji? Go ahead. जा करी जैसी जाही समय में जो हो तुझा द्वार. So basically this poem ends
So
with
like,
I have no fear.
the
What's
central
that?
idea is
Strong. Yeah, oh, because just like the hira is strong and steady.
yeah.
Ma'am, it's written in the following paras. It has been described in the following paras.
Oh, maybe we
That
haven't
one
read
is
that yet.
to remain unshaken and fearless.
Yeah, so and the end line also says the same thing, that I have no fear because I've seen the world now. So okay, so go ahead, Bahubaliji. Let's read the next explanation of it.
Okay, such is the contemplation of one with right belief, whatever the nature of reality is, as known by the omniscient. It continues to unfold in that very manner. This alone truly happens. To consider things as desirable or undesirable, to become happy or sorrowful on that basis is futile. From such reflection, sorrow is dispelled. This is directly evident in experience. Furthermore, the conviction of one with right belief is this: for the jiva, in the place, at the time, and through the process in which birth or death or gain or loss, joy, suffering is known by the omniscient Lord through divine knowledge, such birth, death, gain, loss occurs inevitably through that very process, in that very place, at that very time. None, be it Indra, Ahamendra, or even the Jina himself, is capable of altering it. In all the above passages, the knowledge of the omniscient is consistently upheld as the basis of declaring the future to be fixed, and upon that foundation, one is instructed to remain unshaken and fearless. Swami Kartikeya has declared, one who holds such conviction to be with right belief and shows not the slightest hesitation in calling one who does not accept it one with false belief. Thus, we see that in establishing the principle of sequentially bound modification, omniscience stands as the most powerful basis. The world sees no difficulty in accepting the sequential bind of manifested modifications. However, when unmanifested future modifications are also described as fixed, the world is taken aback. They feel that if everything is predetermined, then all our efforts and doing is meaningless. The wall of egoistic doership, which it had considered a solid foundation and upon which it stood proudly, when that begins to crumble before its eyes, it becomes completely flustered. Its hesitation grows to the extent that even the omniscient Lord and the omniscience it had until now accepted in its heart, not merely intellectually, now become subject of doubt, and it even begins to oppose them.
So you see what happens? What is the cause of it all? The ego.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if somebody tells you for this plastic toy to happen, this is the sequential events that need to happen. First, the granules of plastic have to be melted. Then it has to go into a mold. Then the mold has to be cooled. And then the thing has to come. We easily accept it. Why? The same thing. The Krambadh. Just because we haven't seen it, we are not able to accept it.
Yeah. No, such a good example. Yeah. Since he has.
Okay, Nidhi ji, you want to read?
Yeah.
Next. Since he has.
Since he has until now accepted the existence of omniscience, he cannot immediately disavow it, and so he begins to interpret omniscience. Reinterpret omniscience. At times he says that the omniscient knows the past and the present, but not the future, because whatever had to happen in the past had already happened, and whatever is happening in the present is indeed happening. Therefore, there is no objection in knowing those. But since future events have not yet happened, what is there to know? At other times, he says that the future is known, but known conditionally, such as one who performs merit will be happy, and one who commits sin will be miserable, one who studies will pass, and one who does not study will not pass, and so on. He devises countless such explanations. But all his tireless efforts remain in vain, because when there is no path to begin with, how can one emerge? How is it possible that one accepts omniscience yet denies knowledge of the future? The meaning of omniscient is one who knows all three times. One who cannot know the future, how can he be called omniscient? The very definition of omniscient is one who knows everything is omniscient. It has even been said, Sarva Dravya Parayeshu Kevlasya. The object of omniscience is all substances and all their modifications across the three times. Whatever has already happened, is happening, and will happen in the future, all of it appears with absolute clarity to the omniscient Lord, as if in the present. While explaining the above verse, Acharya Pujyapad writes, Tesham Paryayasya Trikalu Bhava Trikalu Bhuva Pratyekam Ananta Nant Eshu द्रव्यं पर्याय जातं वा न किमचित् केवल ज्ञानस्य
very good.
विषय भावम् अतिक्रान्तमस्ति अपरिमत् अमाहात्म्यं महात्म्यं हि ततीति ज्ञानापनार्थं सर्वद्रव्यपर्यायेषु इत्युच्यते. Each substance has, across the three times, its own infinite modifications. Omniscience encompasses them all. There is neither any substance nor a group of modifications that lies beyond the scope of omniscience. Its magnificence is boundless. It is to express this very truth that the word uses in all substance modification.
You know, when you study, what is it, Gomatsar and Jeev ke Pudgal Paravartan or Bhav Paravartan, it's mind-boggling. I mean, Kevali has seen you will come back with the same face, same body, same place, same house in some long, very future. When you study the, how the Pudgal Bhav Parapanch Paravartan works, it's just mind-boggling.
And it happened billions of times.
Yeah, and it has already happened to us billions of times, leave alone,
In the same way, to accept that the future can be known but not accept the future is definite. How can that be possible? Even an ordinary person can say that one who studies will pass. What divinity then remains in the knowledge of the omniscient? Acharya Kunda says, Jadi Pachikham Ajada Ajadam Pajayam Palaya Nijam
Palayidam
Va
Varnanas
Nanasa Na Havadi Va Tam Ganam
Ganam Divam
Divam Hi Ratihi Ke Parurve Si.
Very good.
If
So see here, one of the issues is this. We are like that frog in the well. To him, that well is the universe. He has never been outside the well. So he doesn't know any better. We are the same way. Whatever we have seen, observed, known from science, known from whichever source, that's all we know how to believe. Our capacities have not expanded yet to believe and trust that there is more to life than what we know of. And that's why we have trouble understanding some of these principles. And so think about it. To your grandfather, if somebody would have told the concept that a car can drive itself without petrol, would you have ever believed in it?
No way.
It's happening. Just because at that time your grandfather couldn't perceive it, doesn't mean it couldn't happen. I mean, in our lifetimes, we are going to see things that we would have never imagined or hard to believe. I just took this some free Claude course. It's mind-boggling how much you can make this AI thing do. It's crazy. So until you see it, you won't believe initially that this is even possible, so much stuff to do. I mean, something that I spent hours and hours writing a little paper on a topic, reading 50 books and, going through 10 hours in the library for 6 days to finish that paper, I can do it now in 30 seconds. And that AI is going to be able to refer to 300 books it will read and come up with the summary or come up with the paper that I needed to write. You couldn't have imagined that 20, 30 years ago, or even maybe 10 years ago. So things that we don't understand or are not able to perceive do exist and do happen. So we do have to understand and believe that. Just because our little mind is not able to perceive or understand doesn't mean that's not true. Okay, continue.
unmanifest future and destroyed past, modifications are not directly known in the knowledge of the omniscient, then who would call such knowledge divine? In Dhavala, Book 6, this point is expressed as follows. Nana, nana, nata,
Natthanu Panam
natanu, panna,
Panam
pannam, pan, panna, मैम एम नहीं है, पन्ना हो गया.
Panna. Remember, there's no line on the top.
हाँ हाँ
Natthanu
पन्न
Pana. Ha. Atthanam.
स्थानं कथं तदो परिच्छेदो न केवल
Ulatado.
केवलताडो बंझा अथ
Vajathavekhaye.
भावे थावे वीणा
Vina
तदुपत्ये
Tadupattiye.
वीरो अभावा. Question. How can there be knowledge through omniscience of entities that have been destroyed or that have not yet arisen? Answer. No, because omniscience is independent of any assistance. Therefore, even without reliance on external entities, there is no contradiction in the arising of the knowledge, that is, of the perished and the unmanifest. Acharya Amrit Chandra has discussed how the omniscient has directly and perfectly clear knowledge in a single moment of all the knowables, yea, along with all their attributes and modifications in the following manner. Athaikasya Jnanaka Bhavasya समस्त ज्ञेय भाव स्वभावत्वत् प्रोत कीर्ण लिखतनी हातकील क्लीत मनजित समावर्तित प्रतिबिंबित
Bimbatavatrat Tatra.
प्रतिबिंबक
I know they're pretty long words.
The next one is
Kram-
I know.
क्रम
Oh my God.
अनंत भूत अभव भवीव चित्र पर्याय प्रगभार मगाधास स्वभावम गंभीरम समस्तम अपि द्रव्यजातम एक क्षण एव प्रत्यक्षण यत्यंतम. Since the knowing nature has inherent capacity to know all the knowables, it is as if the entirety of all substances, those that are sequentially active, infinite, possessed of past, present, and future, filled with diverse modifications, unfathomable in nature and profound, have become engraved in the knower substance, have become depicted in it, have entered into it, have been fastened in it, have submerged into it, have merged into it, have been reflected in it. In this manner, the one, that is pure soul, perceives directly in a single moment. Or to say it another way, alama vati vistarena anivarati अनिवार्यित प्रकाशालितय क्षायिक ज्ञानमवास्यमेव सर्वदा सर्वत्र सर्वथा सर्वमेव Jnaniyat, because its radiance spreads without construction due to its inherent expensive nature, permanent knowledge, Shai Gyan, necessary knows everything, at all times, everywhere, in all ways, and in totality. In Bhagavati Aradhana, the omniscient knowledge of all three times is clearly expressed as follows. Pastadi Jnanadi Ya Sahaya Himni Ji Kale Sapajye Save Saha Va Logas Logma Same Sam Pastadi Bhayam Bigger the Moho. He sees and knows all substances along with their modifications in all three times, past, present, and future, just as they are. In this way, in this same way, he perceives the entire universe, free from fear and delusion.
Mhm.
Similarly, Acharya Amritgati conveys the same idea in Yoga Sar, Atita Bhavina Chartha
Bhavina Char
Chararth स्वे स्वे काले यथा किलाः वर्त वर्तमान
Manatah Tad
तः
Vadaveti
तद्वेति तानपि केवलम्.
Tanapi Kevalam. Very good.
The past and future entities, just as they exist fully in their respective times, are also known by omniscience in exactly that same way. The proof of omniscience has been established in detail by Acharya Samantabhadra in Aptamimansa, by Acharya Akalankadev in its commentary Ashtasati, Ashtasati,
Ashtasati.
Ashtasati, and by Acharya Vidyanandi in Ashtasahasri. The topic of the proof of omniscience is a principal subject in Jnana logic. In a way, the entire field of Jnana logic is devoted to establishing the validity of omniscience. Even so, when scholars, adorned with numerous degrees in logic, begin to express doubts about omniscience or start proposing new interpretations of it, one cannot help but be astonished. Omniscient Lord's knowledge of the future is not indeterminate, as in, if he studies, he will pass, but rather definite, as in, he will study and will certainly pass, or he will not study and will not pass. In accepting the future as fixed, the ignorant person feels that the independence of the substance is being violated, but he fails to consider that if the future were to be regarded as indeterminate, then astrology and other forms of prognostic knowledge would turn out to be imaginary, whereas announcements of solar eclipses and the like are made years in advance, and they turn out to be true. Clairvoyance, Avadi Gyan, and telepathy, Krambadhparyay Gyan, too, within their respective limits, do in fact know the future. The omnisciently proclaimed Jan scriptures are replete with definite declarations of events millions of years in future, and all those declarations are in the language of certainty. This will definitely happen. To deny the omniscient Lord's knowledge of the future would amount to denouncing Jan's scriptures in their entirety. If the idea of sequentially bound modification did not occur to us earlier, it happens to be presented in this era to a person whom we, for some reason, do not favor, it still should not mean that we deny omniscient knowledge of the future, and in doing so, strike an axe at our own feet. Before taking such a step, a sincere appeal is made to the thinking class to reconsider the matter once again. Disturbed by these extremely clear
So you see why they're saying it is important to, even in the beginning, if you have to just hypothesize and accept it till you prove it wrong. So you don't basically not get the benefit of understanding it, right? So Amit, are you there?
Yes, Prabhaji.
You want to read the next 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes? Or 10?
So, sure. It's from the conventional viewpoint.
Yeah, from there. Or Janadi, you read that already, right, Nidhi
Yeah.
ji? Janadi
This
Pasad.
is
Okay.
All right.
the para before it. Disturbed
Okay.
by the
Disturbed by the
Disturbed
extreme.
Oh,
by these
disturbed.
extreme.
Okay.
Okay.
Disturbed by these extremely clear scriptural proofs
Mhm.
and irrefutable arguments, some people attempt to shield themselves from these powerful blows by taking refuge in Niyamsar verse 159, which is as follows: Janadi Pasdi,
Janadi.
Janadi.
oh, Janadi
Janadi
Pasdi
Pasadi.
Savam
Savam.
Vavaharan Ena Kevali Bhagu, Bhagavam
Mhm.
केवल
Kevalanani.
ज्ञानानि
Mhm.
Janadi.
Janadi
ज्ञानादि
Pasadi.
पश्यति
Niyamena
नियमेन
Appanam.
Mm.
अपाणम.
Mhm.
From the conventional viewpoint, Vyavhar Nai, the omniscient Lord knows and sees everything. From the real or absolute viewpoint, Nishchay Nai, the possessor of perfect knowledge, knows and sees the soul. A similar
Just a
statement.
question here since this conventional word came. AI seems to be using the word empirical. Do you guys have an opinion on it? What is a better word for Vyavharnaya?
I think conventional is
Conventional viewpoint is better.
more common. I mean, easy to
Then
understand.
empirical.
Recently, when I was, looking into something, they use the empirical word for some reason. It's okay.
I think empirical is good because empirical basically indicates experience based
Okay,
on
I'm sorry. What did you say? Empirical means what?
empirical is based on experience, right? Whatever has happened based on that, when we make a such statement or when we conclude something, it's based
So are we
on
saying that
The
conventions can
conventional is based on the general belief, correct? Like I am this body or I am this. It's a belief.
and that
yeah.
those can see conventions can change,
Yeah. So same way, our can change.
right?
So when we are talking about research and then when we are talking about stats and empirical evidence is based on what has happened.
Okay, so it needs a past to
Mhm.
understand, sort of, in what you're saying.
Empirical evidence is basically what has happened in the past based on that data, primary evidence. Then they conclude that okay, this is going to. It's not hypothetical.
That
Has
becomes the
happened.
convention, right? I see what you're saying. Okay, let's give it a little more thought. Then we decide which way is.
Oh, great. Great.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay,
Okay.
continue.
A similar statement is also found in Paramatma Prakash. Te pun te
Pun
punnu vam vamdo siddhagana je apani
Punu.
vasamta loyalu u visayelu ihu achahim vimalu niyamta. I bow to those liberated ones who are established in their own self through absolute conception and who from conventional viewpoint doubtlessly and directly sees the habitable and non-habitable universe. On basis of the above statements, those people say that omniscient Lord knows the non-self only, conventionally, not in reality, and convention is untrue, as stated in Samaisar. Verse 11. Vyavharo
Abut.
abuttatho bhutatho desido du sudanayo. Convention is untrue in meaning and reality is true in meaning. In this way, when the omniscient Lord does not even know what is non self, then what question remains of knowing the future modification of all substances? But they're saying This is also devoid of sequential reasoning. For one, saying that not knowing the non self implies not knowing the future of the non self may still be somewhat understandable. But how would it be established that he does not even know his own future? Therefore, it cannot be proven that he does not know the future. The second and most important point is that they have not paid attention to the essence of those statements. If those statements are properly examined in sequence, then everything becomes clear. The entire above statement, Swasrito Nischaya Parasrito Vyavaharai, that which is based on the self is real or absolute, and that which is based on the non self is convention, has been made keeping in mind these definitions, as is clearly mentioned in the Sanskrit commentary on the said verse of Niyam.
Mhm.
That which is that which is with reference only to the self is a real and absolute statement, and that which involves reference to the non self is a conventional statement. Therefore, the omniscient Lord sees and knows his own soul. This is an absolute statement. And he sees and knows the other. This is a conventional statement. The import of that statement is only this much, that he knows the non self conventionally does not at all mean that he does not know the non self. If one thoroughly examines verses 159 to 169 of Niyamsar, along with their Sanskrit commentary, everything naturally becomes clear. The entire passage establishes the omniscience of the Lord. Due to the concern of excessive length, it is not possible to include all of that here. An earnest request is made to sincere readers to deeply reflect on that section. Acharya Jayasen writes in his
Tatparya vritti.
Tatparya Vritti commentary on verse 39 of Pravachansar. Yathayam Kevali Parkiya
Parakiya
Dravya
dravya.
Paryayan
Mhm.
Yadyapi Parichiti Matrena
Parichitti matra. Very good. Janati.
Janati Tathapi
Tathapi. No,
Nichayaniya
Janati. No, wait, Janati. That is true.
Janat
Yes. Okay.
Janati
Yes. Tathapi.
Janati Tathapi Nichayanaina
Jayan. Mhm.
Sahajananda
like
Like
Sahajanandachi
Swabhave.
Swabhav
yes,
Swasuddhatmani Suddhatmani
tanmay
Tanmayatvena
Tatmayatena
vichintam parichintim
Parichitim
karoti.
Karoti Tatha Nirmala Viveki Jano Pi Yadyapi
Mhm.
Vyavharen Parakiya
Parkiyadra.
Dravya Guna Paryay Parignanam Karoti Tathapi निश्चयेन निर्विकार स्वसंवेदना पर्याय
Mhm. Visaya.
विषयत्वात्
Mhm.
पर्यायेन परिज्ञानं करोतीति सूत्रतापर्याम्.
Mhm.
Just as the omniscient Lord, though knowing the modification of other substances merely in the form of direct recognition, parichiti, yet performs that direct cognition while being wholly absorbed in his own pure soul, whose nature is spontaneous bliss and undivided oneness through the absolute viewpoint. In the same way, even a person of pure discernment, though he knows the attributes and modifications of other substances through the conventional viewpoint, still truly knows only the corresponding modification of his own unchanging self awareness through the absolute viewpoint. According to the above statement, from the perspective by which the omniscient Lord is said to know only the self and not the non self, sorry, just a second, I lost the sharing, the self and not the non self, that is from the absolute viewpoint, even the right believer knows only the self and not the non self. Therefore, if you consider the omniscience knowledge of the non self to be untrue, then you must also consider the right believer's knowledge of the non self, which is directly evident to be untrue. It is hoped that the knowledge of the non self, which is directly evident to be untrue, it is hoped that the knowledge of the enlightened ones will not be unacceptable to you either. Secondly, the omniscient Lord knows the self by being completely absorbed in it. But although he knows the non self, he is not absorbed in it. For this reason, too, his knowledge of the non self is termed conventional. In Paramatma Prakash, chapter 1, the commentary on verse 52 discusses this matter with great clarity. Kash, कश्चित्तः यदि यदि व्यवहारेण लोकालोकं जानाति तर्हि व्यवहारनयेन सर्वज्ञानत्वं न च निश्चय नयन नयनैति
Nayaneti. Nayaneti.
परिहारम् आह यथा स्वकीयम् आत्मनं तन्मयत्वेन जानाति तथा परद्रव्यं तन्मयत्वेन न जानाति तेन कारणेन तेन कारणेन व्यवहार बन्यात् न च परिज्ञान अभावत् यदि पुनर्निश्चयेन स्वद्रव्यवत् तन्मय भूत्वा पराद्रव्यं जानाति तर्हि परकीय सुख दुख राग द्वेष परिज्ञात सुखी दुखी रागी द्वेषी च स्यात् इति महात् दुस्सानं प्राप्नोति इति.
Ratnoditi. Yadi. Now is
Amit, you're mute. You got muted.
yeah, you got muted accidentally, looks like.
Oh, sorry. Oh, when did I get mute? Okay. Should I start from question?
Start from the question, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Question. If the omniscient Lord knows the habitable and non habitable universe from the perspective of conventional viewpoint, then would his omniscience also be only from conventional viewpoint and not from absolute viewpoint? Answer. Just as he knows his own soul by being fully absorbed in it, in the same way, he does not know other substances by being absorbed in them. For this reason, his knowledge of the other is termed conventional, not because there is an absence of knowledge. If, just as with his own substance, he were to know other substances also from the absolute viewpoint by becoming absorbed in them, then by knowing the pleasures and planes of the others, he would himself become happy or miserable. And by knowing the attachment or aversion of others, he would himself become attached or averse. Such a consequence would amount to a serious flaw.
Mhm.
The crown jewel among dialecticians, Acharya Samantabhadra, in the auspicious invocation of Ratnakaran Shravak Achar, speaks of how, in the omniscience of Lord Vardhaman, all entities of the three worlds, along with the non habitable universal space, Alok Akash, are clearly reflected in the following manner. Namah Shri Vardhamanaya
Mhm.
Nirbhuta Kalilatman
Money.
Saloke Sam Trilokan Kanam Yadda Vidya Darpanaite. Salutations to Lord Vardhaman, in whose mirror like omniscience the three worlds, along with the non habitable universal space, shine forth, and who has washed away the impurity in the form of karmic defilement, such as knowledge obscuring jnana varna karma. In this way, omniscience and knowledge of the three times Trilok Gnat, Agn- Triloknath,
Trikalya,
Trikal
Trikal Gnata.
Gnata, Trikal Gnata, are naturally established through the authoritative testimonies of universally revered Jain philosophers such as Acharya Kunda, Kartikeya, Samantabhadra, Uma Swami, Pujyapad, Virasen, Amrita Chandra, Ravi Sen,
Ravi Sen and many other.
and many other eminent acharyas.
Swami Pujyapad Veer Sen. Okay. So we'll keep it up to here. So they have given all the references to different granth which prove this Krambadh and the omniscience. Omniscience is also a big topic. There can be arguments, pro and cons, and or rather for and against. And there are a lot of Nyaya Shastra which again go back to prove why omniscience is there. So for us, it should be enough that in the past so many people have proven it. There has always been, from times in the past that these doubts have come and have been cleared. Now it is up to us. The sooner we understand the concepts and believe in them, the better it is for us. Yet, if there are doubts, if there are questions, yes, we should try to clear it as much as possible, but go with the assumption that whatever came to Kevali's Gyan is correct. I am not able to understand or accept it yet. And let me try to prove it correct whichever way I can. So if you keep that attitude, it will be a little easier to understand. So rather than straight away refuting it. So you can put the page number where we are ending, Bahubaliji, in the group.
Yeah.
So that way we'll just, yeah, and then you can stop sharing. So Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप, निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है। Jai Jinendra, everybody.
Jai Jinesh.
Somebody left, Amit or somebody. So anyway, next week, again, I'll be traveling back from Seattle on Wednesday. Are you guys available on Thursday for the class?
Yeah, I'm fine. As of now, yeah,
Yes.
I'm
Those
fine next
4 of
Thursday.
you who are here, you can
Yeah.
answer for yourself, and the other 2 that are remaining will ask them personally. Nidhi ji, you're okay with Thursday? Your Friday morning, of course. You are muted, Nidhi ji.
Yes, ma'am, I have no problem.
Okay. Bahubali ji, Viraj.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
here.
I think so. I'll confirm, but
Okay, then.
I think so. Yeah, I don't have anything
Okay.
right now.
Okay, then Amit ji, would you please check with Dinesh ji? And I think Dinesh ji was available today. I think he simply forgot from what I am understanding. So yeah, I think we should get in the habit of, well, I guess I just found out from my son this putting alarms on the phone is now primitive system. You can make calendar meetings and remind yourself, whatever works for you. So,
Yeah, no, I'll ask them.